Ladies and gentlemen, the envisaged Azimio Kenya Kwanza talk, dialogue, whatever you may call it, will go nowhere. I've looked at the tone of the Azimio brigade. I've listened to Raila Morodiga. I've listened to Martha Karua. I've listened to Mwagwe. I've listened to Azimio. I've also listened to William Ruto. I've listened to Kimani Ichung'wah. I've listened to Rigathi Gachagua. But I want to assure you one thing, that we are just buying time. The peace talk will not go anywhere. When you look at what William Ruto, Kimani Ichung'wah's National Assembly leader of the majority presented to the Kenyans, you noted one thing: lack of goodwill. A party that is just there to buy time. A party that is not genuine. A leadership that is wanting. When you listen to Rigathi Gachagua, he is actually trying to throw a volley to Kenya Kwanza. Anawambia bila kujali, in fact without breaking an eyelid, that hata wale walinzi wao watarejeshewa baada ya miezi mitatu. This is something that is calculated. When you look at William Samoei Ruto, by the way, there's one thing about William Samoei Ruto. William Samoei Ruto look like he's beholden by the Kenya Kwanza guys. William Samoei Ruto look like he doesn't have the control of his party. He doesn't have the control of the government. And that is why he had to hide together with Raila Amolo Odinga wakati ambapo walikutana. That is why he had to meet Raila Amolo Odinga when Gachagua was not in Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at Azimio, 16 points, you realize that Kenya Kwanza is not going to accept this. Kenya Kwanza is not going to accept anything to do with the cost of living. Why Kenya Kwanza has tried to abandon and ignore the high cost of living is a mystery to me. A number of Kenyans cannot even be able to explain why. Why should Kenya Kwanza ignore the cardinal point? I believe they are doing this deliberately. They are doing this to ensure that Raila Amolo Odinga does not get the credit that will come with running the cost of living. I strongly believe they are doing this to ensure that the finance bill passes without any amendments. I strongly believe that Kenya Kwanza is heartless. I strongly believe that Kenya Kwanza would not like to see William Samoei Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga having peace. They thrive when the two leaders are antagonizing each other. They thrive when there are differences. That is how they get their bread. That is how they get their bread buttered. Without Raila Amolo Odinga's politics in Mount Kenya, there is no way that you can talk of Rigathi Gachagua. There is no way you can talk of Kimani Ichung'wah. There is no way you can talk about Dede Nyoro. That is the truth of the matter. But by the way, it looked like William Samoei Ruto has realized that he started to gain more by working with Raila Amolo Odinga than working with Mount Kenya leaders. That is the truth of the matter. When I listen to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, I see somebody who is genuine. I see Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, somebody who wants this country to continue enjoying peace. But when I listen to Rigathi Gachagua, I see somebody who is not interested with peace in this country. When I listen to William Samoei Ruto, I see somebody who is actually losing hope. I see somebody who wants to talk to Raila Amolo Odinga, who wants to move on. Because, you know, one thing that many Kenyans have not realized, in 1 week's time, William Samoei Ruto will be the president of Kenya for 1 year. It's very funny, by the way. Lakini the funny thing about it is that Kenya Kwanza has not done anything. Hakuna jambo lote ambalo wamefanya. And Raila has continued to set the agenda of this country. Raila has continued to determine the discourse of politics in this country. And by the way, that is what William Samoei Ruto does not want. By the way, that is how William Samoei Ruto has fallen into Raila Amolo Odinga's trap. I'm saying, and I want to repeat it again, that the talks between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio are not going to go anywhere. And if there's one person who will leave this country embarrassed, it is Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria. Kwa sababu ukiangalia, if you listen to somebody like Mutahi Gunyi is now leaning heavily towards Kenya Kwanza. He was opining that there is nothing to mediate, because according to him, the difference that we are experiencing in Kenya is about the dynasty and the Hassan nation. This is an erroneous thinking if you ask me. This is wrong if you ask me. Kwa sababu kusema ukweli, the difference that is the political difference that you experience in Kenya is about the high cost of living. That is the truth of the matter. And anything that does not discuss the high cost of living is useless. Anything that does not address the cost of living is null and void. Anything that will not put the high cost of living as the priority, hakuna jambo mnazungumzia. That's the truth of the matter. When you look at Kenya Kwanza agenda, that is about the composition of the Electoral Commission, the issue about 2/3 gender rule in Parliament, the issue about things that not add up, by the way, about the National Government Constituency Development Fund. You realize that this is something that Azimio will not accept. And I'm happy that Raila Amolo Odinga came out and addressed the nation and gave the press belief and denied what Ishungwa did. But I want to correct Azimio. You know, Azimio, tunapenda sana. Raila Amolo Odinga, if you are listening to this video, I want you to take this point very seriously. Uko na wafuasi wengi ambao wanakupenda. Raila Amolo Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and also Martha Karua. Mnapendwa sana. Aparanya, mnapendwa sana. That is the truth of the matter. But there is one area that you have gotten it wrong. Your communication. Your communication is wanting. Because you see now, when you look at Kimani Ichung'wah and Kenya Kwanza in general, after William Samoei Ruto met with Raila Amolo Odinga, William Samoei Ruto came out very fast and briefed his troops. I told them what they were talking about. But Ichung'wah went ahead and convinced Kenyans that yale mambo ambayo tunazungumzia is about Raila Amolo Odinga getting the position. So that it started telling Kenyans that the people had to die for Raila Amolo Odinga to become the official leader of the position. Raila Amolo Odinga had to let Kenyan die, and that's being imprisoned, for him to become the leader of the opposition. So that's why I'm saying Kenya Kwanza, in fact, Mugala Muwe na Akimpe, they are ahead of Azimio when it comes to communication. How I wish that Azimio came out very fast and told the people that this is what we agreed. This is what we are talking about. Because if you ask me, even today's press by Azimio was not necessary. If at all they had put their communication well, intact, and very impressive, efficient, I believe that they could have actually outwitted Azimio. But now look at it. The damage had already been done by the time Raila was coming out. The damage had already been done. And I wish, if you're here, and Raila Amolo Odinga is one of you, and has your number, call just for this video to Raila Amolo Odinga, just for this video to Martha Karua, because I believe it is important. I believe it is necessary. I don't know what you think, but if you ask me, it is important that Raila Amolo Odinga remain top of the game. If he does not remain top of the game, he is going to be outwitted by none other than William Samoei Ruto. Adios, ladies and gentlemen.